Well, the conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East have been shocking in terms of their length and ferocity. There are also broader shifts at work here. The landscape that we have largely taken for granted since the end of the Cold War is undergoing changes that will have profound consequences for equity investors over the coming years and decades. China is reinventing its economy to become a leader in a range of technologies that will be vital for the energy transition, while also extending its economic and political influence across the global south, where many of the larger economies are themselves developing a more assertive foreign policy of their own. Meanwhile, the US has in some respects become more isolationist again, even raising worries in some quarters about their absolute commitment to NATO. In Europe, the direction of the EU seems more uncertain given recent gains for the populist right and increasing disharmony over immigration, support for Ukraine, and attitudes towards Russia, as well as the European Green Deal. This realignment of both major and smaller powers will lead to shift in global supply chains that we're already seeing in strong trends for nearshoring, onshoring, friendshoring, etc. And competition will play out across a large range of spheres, but in particular of a leadership in new technologies. We are seeing rapid advances across several fields, and there will be a battle between the leading players to establish supremacy in these new technologies. Tariff on electric vehicle and restrictions on rival social media platforms, for instance, are both examples of this conflict playing out. Indeed, Western countries find themselves in a quandary. The pressing demands of climate change and energy transition means the rapid adoption of new, cleaner technologies is vital. Yet the desire to protect nascent domestic industries, as well as established sectors such as automotive production, is creating resistance to working with Chinese corporates in some areas. How this warm war plays out will be key to the future of many firms on both sides, and of course, should be watched very carefully by investors. We will also see the energy transition clash with economic realities in the global south, as trade-offs between short-term growth and long-term climate benefits increasingly come into question. These changes are bringing with them a range of implications for investors, some of which may be in tension with each other. Increased volatility and tail risk are likely as friction emerges in new and unexpected places, while the traditional correlation between countries may break down as new regional and local economic dynamics emerge. Artificial intelligence and cybersecurity will, of course, be two key areas to watch, but investors should be mindful that competition between providers, as well as national security concerns, will mean the emergence of rival tech ecosystems backed by competing national governments or blocs. Allocating widely here will likely be prudent. Finally, the rapid growth of new technologies, particularly in the energy sector, will mean many assets may become stranded faster than anticipated as investment criteria change and the value of legacy infrastructure are quickly written down.
投资一定有风险，基金投资有赚有赔，申购前应详阅公开说明书。